Hey everybody, this is Alexandrake. Once again, we're playing the Yetter. Now, yes, it has been a while due to being distracted by other things. To the wonderful Bendy himself. We were playing as Hannah in her story. Isabella is ceased to exist at this present moment of time, well, depending on what else it throws at us. And we just made Hannah stick with her cheating husband because, I don't know, starts to be a bit annoying. He knows the real reason why I did that. I don't remember either. So anyway, yes, start. Okay. Hey, my fiends and ghouls. So this is the cheating rascal. Vampire, I do believe. Sometimes that even you to handle a party is a horrible idea. Yes, I believe it is. Oh, let's stay. I forgot about that. How you doing? Doing dead? And around. But just Tom morning in the dining hall is a mess with a few of his drunk friends sleeping about. At least a dozen men and women are scattered about, sleeping out there in alcohol-induced comas. Nice. Even Officer Yi is there, sleeping off the effects and still chuckling a bottle of a 1998 Jumayua. No idea what that is. No doubt Ute has served some of his stores and absent. Just by the faint burnt smell, they had to set fire to the yatta too. Neon Bohemian. Yeah, rich people. It's too much for me. There's only so much I can tolerate as we have Johannes. Retrieve every single one and let them a tab. And they are everywhere. Now the table, on it, underneath it, and some are even in the kitchen.
Nap time is over, Kinder. Time to go.
And oh dear does this piss off Arthur, although he's still a man of silent fury. Although it is a little treat to hear him utter terses of German from the other room. I imagine you two will be amused as well if it isn't his desk that are being thrown out. Instead he's brooding in his seat, rolling a stalk of dandelions in between his fingers. Okay?
He's energetic, and you aren't drunk. That, or you are getting better with handling your hangovers without your dog hairs. Should I be looking out the window to see if the sky has turned red and if pigs have started to fly?
I am unfortunately completely sober, Hannah.
Oh, God.
And how does it feel not being hungover?
Still miserable.
It'll get better.
Or so they say. You wanted to talk about something?
You know, for once, I wish you were hungover. Maybe this isn't the best time for this talk.
No, please. I do not like loose ends. And this is a bloody ugly loose end.
Then, first things first, I want you to be honest with me. Just between the two of us.
Oh.
Without
Okay.
others to impress. Without people listening in. Just you and me. Did you or did you not sleep with Rochelle Lee and got her pregnant?
Drama.
I didn't get her pregnant.
Ha!
But the thought of having a child with her? Can you just imagine it?
Still dodges the question there.
Or rather, don't. I can already see it. It'll look like that ruddy pig boy from that Young Wizard book.
A little harsh.
I don't care about once upon a time. What I'm asking is if you were with her the other night during my party.
Him not showing up in the most of his gatherings I've hosted the past is nothing new, of course. The one I had last week is no different. It's me and the thing I'd unused to between us after things turned sour. But after Rochelle's outburst last night, I won't deny feeling the disappointment. The betrayal. What's done is done, however, though, at the very least, I still want to hear the truth from him.
She made me meet with her the night of your party. But I swear, I only agreed to go so that I could tell her I wasn't having none of it. It isn't my baby. I don't even think it's Lee's. Poor bloke. I mean, I probably slept with her once. We were probably incredibly drunk, but that would have been a long time ago before she was preggo.
Are you sure, Luke? You're not making anything up or leaving anything out?
Of course not.
Still want to throw him out a window, but I just want to see where this leads.
I swear it on my mother's grave.
Yeah. Did all the mummy tins. He swears it, he says it, and he hands me the flower with such tenderness. And I believed him.
Well, if that's all you wanted to talk about, you shouldn't have made me worry.
For the sake of my sanity and for the sake of our marriage, I'll pretend that you never said any of that. Are you sure you aren't drunk now?
Haven't had a single drop and hating it.
Would you like something to drink? Because I'm not done.
Oh.
I have something else to tell you.
No thanks, maybe I will after this little talk you wanted to have. I already told you, and you already said you believe me that the brat isn't my child. I already spilled that I might have had drunken sex with her once, and you wish to wipe that off your memory. So do we have anything else to talk about? Because have at it. I'm all ears.
You're pretty miffed for someone who just admitted to his wife that he's cheated.
And you're stalling. I can tell that incident has you shaken up.
Actually, I think I find it quite entertaining.
So why don't you just spit it out and get this all over with?
Do it. Destroy him. Destroy him.
I'm pregnant.
Oh!
What?
Ha!
Come again?
You heard me.
You've got to be kidding, right? This must be some kind of joke. Are you taking the piss at me? Because, woman, I don't need a second fake pregnancy.
Instead of answering, however, I stay silent, yet the matter of the fact sinks into his head. His face heats up for a moment, before he goes pale. He raises a hand in hopes of asking for a drink, but the morning staff is still busy evicting the ass of his inebriated companions. He doesn't even bother to bark out orders as if he's lost his very voice. Actually, it's right, he's on the verge of hyperventilating.
This is Hannah. Hannah, darling. I need some air. How long have you been?
3 months.
Oh.
And the twins. Although we don't know yet if they're a boy or a girl or
3 months?
or both.
Good God! Twins! I'm going to be a father.
I'm here to pay the horror, not the drama, but I appreciate the drama enough to
To 2 tiny babies.
Sweet drama. It mends my soul, makes me happy.
Breathe, Luke! Breathe!
Goodness, Luke, I'm the one who's pregnant here, not you.
No, don't touch me! Stay away!
A stream cuts off my amusement, and without fainting, Newton and I rushed to the foyer. Dramatic music. There stands the Trey's Duty Chief Inspector, trashing about as he tries to mate it up the stairs while Johannes holds him back.
What is going on here?
Und tschüss. All the Schweinehunde must leave, including you, Chef Inspector. This one is very problematic and will not leave.
Aye, Johannes.
No, you can't make me leave! I need to stay here for her! I need to help her!
Oh, Rochelle? She's probably already at home, dearie. Or she might have already gone and skipped town. Who knows?
Oh, for the love of... There's no point talking logic in him. Lee, go home. You're drunk.
Can't you hear her crying? She was crying, just weeping and in so much pain last night. I couldn't help her. Drunk, sobbing bastard that I am. But my help. She needs my help.
Why is music sound like Beyond the Doom or something?
Tell your fucking stupid lapdog to let go of me, Luke! Or I'm gonna knock him down and I'm gonna knock the 2 of you down too!
I have this. Please do it. Officer Yi. You have drawn favor with me! Check his ass.
Language! I've already dealt with your wife, so don't make me deal with
come
you,
on.
Lee. Or I swear I'll...
Hannah, enough. Don't stress yourself over him. It'll be bad for the twins. So go back to your breakfast and let me handle this, okay?
Are you sure?
Why wouldn't I be? Now, go ahead and do something less stressful.
Oh, come on. I want to see this. I want to see violence. Disappointing. Disappointing. Go ahead and do nothing. There's much to do, it seems, when I step up to the plate and try to make responsibility for something. Perhaps because everything is already being handled by someone hired especially for that job. And with Johannes overseeing the staff and handling everything else as a whole, that doesn't leave much for me. To even take the job of decoration, because it all takes is a word to one of the senior staff and everything will be taken care of for me. Moving in here a few days ago may have very well been the chore that took the most effort from me. And that didn't take any real effort at all.
Yes, Hannah, go buy a mansion in the middle of nowhere. Good idea. Great plan.
There are no discs set aside and busy myself with. Any mess left behind is now nearly non-existent. Sitting on the counter while Ethan Tate is supposed to be my next plan. Yes, there isn't even one to finish off. I don't even know what brought me to the church in the first place. It's not I'm trade anything else, nor do I have any unfinished business left here. But there's a tour into this room. Speaking of touring, why not do just that? Might as well, since I have nothing else to do. At least I require some effort on my part. Without cut off from the rest of Yetsborn, the Mountaineers, and with the how Yarn it was to abandon before we moved in, having the Yan is out of the question. Solution is supposed to be our mobile, so it isn't much considering how spotty the signal is in the area. I take a bit of maneuvering to get this even a signal bar as it is. It takes a bit, as I said it would. I have to park my rear on one of the two drawers, but that suits me just fine. Another matter that needs my effort is who to tool. She who must be not named, but is certainly off the earth. That doesn't leave much in the category of close friends who attend the party. I am with the category of who else is awake at this early hour. But soon enough I manage and the tool goes through.
Hello, Rebecca Gales here.
Oh! Hello.
Who's this?
Good morning, Becky.
Hannah? Oh wait, how did you get my number?
You responded to your RSVP through the phone. It's all saved in here, of course. I thought I'd like to say hi and make plans and get together sometime.
Oh.
Also, I'd love to hear news about your mother and father and about you, my dear. Oh, I hope I didn't wake you up.
Oh, you're good. It's sports day at school today, so I was just prepping for that.
Figures that you'd be a teacher as well. I'm sure your students must absolutely adore you.
I hate Hannah when she's like this. It's tall. It's nice, but I don't know.
Don't know about that.
Something annoys me about her.
Mathematics?
History, actually.
Ah.
Anyway, it's real nice to know you've got my number. I was going to ask for yours because Mom wanted to keep in touch.
You could have asked, silly girl. I would have gladly given it to you.
Couldn't, though, because, well, the thing that happened. But really am sorry, though. I gotta run. School, schedule, stuff. Is there anything else you want to say? Don't want to use the mobile while driving.
Oh, of course, of course. I shouldn't keep you. But I wanted to thank you for your company yesterday.
Not a problem.
And for that other thing as well.
What for now?
For what you said to me. With what had happened. It's been very helpful in...
Here we go. The tool starts to started much to my frustration. It's always with better. Is it me? And then a weird thing happened with better. A strange ticking noise drones out most of her words too. I don't actually understand what I'm saying. And the iron pretty dies. I feel a headache coming. It's just building up, starting from a yard throbbing on one side of my head. The sun is dawn, and that helps a lot. But there it is still that insistent, horrible ticking. Again, and again, and again. Which doesn't make sense, the mode's turned off, isn't it? And if it isn't coming from the phone, then where? Yet in the battle town hell, but if my eyes be drawn to the hatch leading into the wine cellar once more. That's when the tune stops, and I hear that trying, that familiar trying from before. What happened the other day when I was told that nobody should be down there? I tried over there because of how unsettled it me was. Once and I do that when I'm muting on the very thing I'm trying to forget. Somebody's trying down there again. But if I either own or simply won't stop bothering me for the rest of the day. They might have forgotten to yacht it with the party going on.
This again? If somebody is pulling my leg, I will not be happy.
True enough, all it takes is a bit of a pulled open house. Oh, here we go! As we down into the sour, the sense of uneasiness washed over me. It isn't just the sudden onset of further nausea, but also the darkness. It's suffocating. And as I get down, it feels as if it's shooting back at me. I worry that something will suddenly pull me into the deep. The cries drown beneath the streets that start echoing in my head, high and shrill, like nails being dragged across the chalkboard. They're all screaming, shouting at me, and I can just feel her rage. Help me. She wants to drown me, drag me down, thrust me in the very depths of darkness until there is nothing left of me. The deep abyss waits for me, for my death. They're all toiling for it. This is a nightmare. There's a rope around my neck, and I feel the rest of me being torn apart, and that they're still streaming. I'm streaming, though it's not my voice that escapes my lips. It chores through, climbing up, forcing its way up to my throat like putrid bile. I choke and dare to stream, and I shriek all at the same time. And I'm me, but not me? Almost failed that because my brain shut down very briefly. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I have missed this thing. Oh, still did. Puts me down to my knees before I'm prone and vulnerable on my stomach. Makes me tumble, and I can just feel my whole body seizing, riffing on the floor. Everything and nothing hurts. It feels like I'm on the verge of death. Ugh. And if I'm not dying, I nearly wish I actually am.
Hannah? Hannah, what is going on in there? Why are you?
Prince!
Seeing you, something snaps back, and I'm able to take the dash veil on my own volition for the first time in what felt like centuries. I would have been rejoiced and tried for his name if the pain did not rape my body. Aww. And he said all I can do is stare. Yes, as he comes to my side, lifts me up and cradles me in his arms. He tries to get me up to my feet, perhaps take me out of here. What he's able to do is always get me to sit, make sure I'm not thrashing on the floor. I can still feel my muscles spasm, limbs jerking as a puppet on a string. You'd hold me tight, teach me still, so that I do not hurt myself anymore. Whatever it is that happened, it's my mind feeling frayed and battered. Eventually pain dies down and the dull ache, and my own tongue stops feeling like cotton. It's only now that I can feel the weightness on my cheeks, tears streaking down my face. I don't know why that made me jump. A coughing rates my body now that I don't feel like choking. It just as it all feels so horrible. But I don't care. I don't care.
Luke, please.
What happened here? Who did this to you?
I don't want to feel sympathy for Yoon's actions here.
I don't know. I'm so sorry.
Shh, it's all right. You're safe now, Hannah. You're safe now.
Still haven't done over what he's done to my boy, Sat. But, fine. Oh! Yes! Yes! The best part. This is what I've been getting for. Yes! Wait, so I saved Hannah? Oh, now I'm annoyed. Anyway, enough about her. Now it gets to the good stuff. The pleasant aroma hits me young before I cross the threshold. Faint but yet warm, a reminder of what home is. Past stern but tormenting days, Mars' tender smile, the sunlight filtering through the eaves in the morning. and the distant smell of cinnamon and vanilla as it drifts through the air every time someone toots from the room. The room, our room, Ma and Pa's pride and joy. My sister and I too eventually. But aren't allowed there. Not yet. Not until we're taller or older. Not until we yearn from how to take care of ourselves and not burn our hands to reach the tablets without having to be gifted.
But a little peek wouldn't hurt, yeah?
Floorboards are toad under my feet, more than it is usually. The walls more foreboding than what I'm used to. Farther and farther the room goes. Ma's scene ceases, and Pa...
No, please wait. I'll be good. I'll sleep on time. Don't go.
What's down here, Pa? Not above the ranches chain and deafening roar of gunshots, nor the streams replacing the trumpet south melodies. There's only a blinded fear. When my foot ships the Red Sea attached to me is bitter and fragile, but the blood that drips in my hand is warm, warm, warm. It ain't my blood. Walls tumble and everything goes quiet. Oh. Oh. Not bad, Pierce. It was snug, but I eyed it. First few notes were muffled are enough to await me. It takes a few moments before I've informed the pièce, for my eyes have adjusted to the light streaming into the room. Despite the pleasant chill the air sea brings, my shirt is clinging tightly to me, and my blanket is a tiny mess around my throat. It's one of those nights then when the sleep passes out of blink and is played with vague, fuzzy thoughts. I have a hand to rub away the dreariness from my eyes, but just does little to remove the gritty, burning sensation from my eyelids. Outside, the sun has yet to peep over the horizon, but night has already given way to the toad morning light, washing everything in the subtle grey hues. At this hour, the entire city remains unstirring. Ordinarily, waking up before my own alarm means abusing the snooze button twice or thrice, just to have those precious few extra minutes of sleep. But the system really makes it impossible now.
This better be good.
Gradually, I scrambled for the bed sitting at the foot of my bed. Oh! Rain still hasn't stopped. Even as I fish the phone out, Ash names flashes brightly on the screen when I turn it on. Must be pretty urgent if he hasn't dropped the tool yet.
Where are you?
Ashton, it's 6 in the morning. Sun hasn't even risen. Hell, my brain ain't even awake yet.
Oh, is he on town?
What do you need?
Get your ass here, pronto.
Here? Hold on. Can't this wait until I'm actually awake?
No, Rebecca's not.
His voice hitches and I fail to catch the ass of what he's saying over the sudden rattle on the other side of the iron. When the noise dies down, however, he does not continue. There's an abrupt change in his tone. The unexpected hesitation of speech puts me on the edge. A different kind of anxiety clings to me. Something's wrong.
Here is where, Ash.
Ermengarde Memorial Hospital. ER.
Oh, no! It's...
Becca's already there.
Oh!
I need to be off somewhere. Just get there. Please.
He drops still avoid us anymore? Ah! Oh. I got it through the roof! Ah! Oh, so he's one handsome guy. I ate it. Ah! I'm still annoyed. I still want to see if I could have saved her. Maybe it's just me or my cheap idle brain, but in the short moment he sounds almost as if he's pleading. For the does not ease the yump on my dread dripping my insides, already heavy with fear. But despite the question of Tony swimming inside my head, I waste no time in getting dressed. The rest of the day plan and social meetings effectively done. Off and on. What arrives ahead, I hope this ain't one of those times when my intuition is right. The scent of the hospitals never drew on me. Too fresh, too medical, too sterile. And if I'm going down the more morbid train of thought, I'll say the air smells like you'll get blood and death if one pays close attention. Oh, lovely. It's not entirely terrible in itself, just that the scent alone is enough to bring that odd memories and mostly unpleasant. More saying that the recent birth of my niece is one of course that has been a good milestone for both me and my sister's family. It's simply unfortunate that the disinfection has to be everywhere and for something anyone wants to commit to memory.
Did Isabella ever feel this way when she visits her father?
The same odor assaults my senses as I make my way through corridors and search for the emergency room. Oh, no! Recently revenated, torn to one of the guards, I asked for directions. Considering how long the place has been around, I'm not surprised they already made plans to modernize. Not here up the times, they say, especially a place where lives are saved. Don't have time to mind the new work, though. Soon the person I'm searching for turns into view. Rebecca sitting still on one of the few benches behind the hall, her head bowed, her shoulders rising and falling in the slow rhythm of her breathing. Oh, no, that's one of the notes. A pile of paper and various other personal threats have been arranged in a neatly beside her. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, no. And is that Piotr knows? I tried to ignore the foreboding feeling it sends me as I reach for her to shake her away.
Rebecca! I'm here. Wake up.
She opened up her eyes at the sudden tap, along with a small yawn of her own. In the hospital, the bright is lighting, the dark circles under her eyes are more noticeable. Her voice is still rough with sleep when she greets me.
Zach, did Ash call you in?
Pretty much. Woke me up, actually. Said it was urgent. What happened?
Oh.
He didn't tell you?
Not really. He just said I needed to be here. Is everything all right? It sounded pretty urgent when he called. The way that guy phrased it, I thought for sure you had gotten into an accident or something.
But shifts in her chair, smooths her hand over her face, and yet out a sigh, weighted enough with fatigue as she does so.
I'm sorry, Zachary. It's just been a long night. I don't really know how I'm supposed to break this to you. Ashton should be the one doing this, but...
The guy's busy again. No worries. You could tell me anything.
Oh. If I should have saved her, I've been more annoyed at my future self.
No, it's Isabella.
I'm afraid I can't quite follow, ma'am.
You weren't entirely wrong. But it wasn't me, obviously. Last night, she got into an accident. A car accident. She was hurt pretty bad and they had to rush her here.
A yump had suddenly lodged itself into my throat, making it difficult to get the next words out.
How bad exactly are we talking about here, Rebecca?
Critical.
Oof.
But I don't know. I didn't see her myself. When I came here, she was already in the ER. Has been since last night. The doctors haven't said anything since then.
And Ash?
He's looking into the crash. He hasn't called again, but he promised to keep us updated.
Oh, yes. Never heavy sigh comes out from her. Abruptly she stands and starts pacing, her trembling fingers chased tightly together in front of her. She continues for a good minute, trailing the hall in a short, uneven step before stopping and pressing both her palms over her eyes. As if that alone would be enough to starve off her exhaustion.
I called her out, you know? I promised I'll treat her to dinner if she gets out of her room. I was only hoping it would cheer her up after the news. The one about her co-worker yesterday. And now, I should have just kept my mouth shut. If I did, then maybe she'd still be...
Hey, don't blame yourself. You had no idea this would happen.
I know, sir. Ah!
An accident is an accident. If there's someone you should hold responsible for this, it's that ass who ran her over.
Oh, he's angry.
Ash will find that guy, don't worry.
I know he's happy.
I wish it were that easy. God, it's one after another, Zachary. And no one will tell me anything. I came in here asking for her, and all they said was, "She's in critical condition, ma'am." What are we supposed to do? I want to do something. I need to do something. But I can't. Not when she's still in there. Still fighting for her life.
I wish I did the answer she wants to hear right now. It has always been the hardest part in circumstances like this. Always out of our control. Always out of our hands. You need to take a break. There's nothing we can do. Oh. Oof. I don't know. I just want to make people happy, right? I think she needs a break. She's been up for far too long, and I don't want to say there's nothing we can do. Just frankly, I don't want to be that pessimistic. I think just being there supportive is enough. Better just not... Oh, so what did that do? Hey! Yes! Relationships. Oh dear. Rebecca does not move nor pull away when I lay a reassuring hand on her back and lead her to an empty seat. The Fiends are not as bright as they appear. I doubt you would free except the jester, strong-willed as she is.
I know you're worried, Rebecca. We all are. But you have to think about yourself, too. I'll be straight with you. You look like you're a few steps away from falling over. How do you think Bella will react if she sees you like this right now?
You don't have to mince words with me. Just say I look like horse dung, Zachary. I won't be mad.
Wait, why do they have a text thing of in different font over there? Is it behind it that say out as well? Okay, that's weird.
All right, ma'am. You look like you stepped and rolled in a pile of horse dung today. Not the same thing, but the way you are, there doesn't seem to be any difference.
There. Wasn't that easy? But yeah, she'll scold me. Believe me, Belle will. She whines with how bossy I am every time, but she doesn't realize how she's every bit of a mother hen as I am. Don't tell her I said that. And then maybe she'll laugh after. She never does stay mad with anyone for long.
That she does. Or you could always offer her food.
You don't have to tell me. That has always been a last resort. It works every time.
Look at us talking like she's gone and left us.
I'm sure it's nothing like that. I think this is just us hoping we won't lose her.
Yeah.
We won't.
You sound very sure.
Well, times like this, the only thing left to do is to hope. Maybe pray for the best. But I don't want to believe those guys inside aren't doing the best they can to save her. They have to be if they've been at it for hours. And Isabella's... you know how she is.
She's stubborn. I think that's a good thing.
Has anyone told her parents?
I want to believe she'll make it through because of that alone.
I don't know if anyone's made her talk to her parents.
I'm a mess, aren't I? One unfortunate incident, and I'm all ready to give up hope. Can't even keep myself together when nothing final has been said yet.
We all are. A mess, I mean, in more ways than one.
We had a silence fall and the words hang between us. Does the truth in those feels more tangible than what little hope we are both tuning to. Somewhere far off the hall I can almost hear the faint beating of machines. Which one is Isabella's, I wonder? How is she doing? How long are we supposed to wait? Will she pull through? But it's always the waiting, ain't it? More than the threatening, it's always the yon excruciating hours that follows, blurring everything in between and slowing it down. By the point we both drank through a third tub of toffee, and we already lost track of the seconds, the minutes we spent sitting there. There's no idle chatter between us, only companionship, and what little support we could give each other. Which is not much, considering how young the two of us have known each other. But for us to be here instead of me, or Isabella, if only she didn't have a different battle to fight right now. But then, won't be here if she ain't. When the door finally treats open a voice tools for us, none of the world shifts back and focused the way I'm expecting it would. It's Rebecca who handles it with much pace and tact, while I sit on the sides. It's her who faces the nurse, who listens to him, who nods and words as she falls when it gestures for us to do so, in order despite her weariness beating down on her. I didn't turn a burden now, after that thought. I'm almost too afraid to ask. Oh, she's okay. I think. Should we up this room? The moment the nurse opens the door and the soft, morning sunlight greets us from the sole window, I knew she would. Might be inappropriate to think about it now, but if she's well, Isabel will say the same thing. Yeah, probably so. She has, after all, always favoured the sun. Reminds her of a little home, she said. Reminds me a little of her, too, to be frank. In the background, the heart monitor beeps faintly in a steady rhythm. She's not as easy sight to see, towing the bandages a thick task on her head, a net with all these wires and tubes attached to her. She has nothing but throw like this. And still. Too still. She would never still, and yet here she is. Her breathing too quiet for comfort, even as the ventilator pumps oxygen into her.
They have to keep monitoring her.
But she's okay now? We'll just have to wait?
Not exactly. She isn't out of the woods yet.
But she's a little better than before.
But alive, right? I mean, she's here. Even with all this stuff attached to her, she's gonna be fine, yeah?
Now my ears ringing. That's weird. Sia has the breath, probably the 13th one since I joined her here, and drops unceremoniously on a nearby chair. Carefully, she reaches up and gives Isabella Bandage's hand a slight squeeze. I'm not sure if that's meant to be intelligent for the patient or her. But for all her hesitance, I'm glad it's better who has to break whatever this news is. If this is Ashton, he'll drop that without any sort of preamble. For a detective giving the dead answers, it works. For people waiting on the edge, it doesn't always.
I don't know. I honestly don't know anymore. The doctors, they had to put her in an induced coma. They had to, after the seizures. It wasn't looking good. Something about the trauma and the head injury from the accident did that. I know I should have listened better. I'm sorry, Zachary. Half of it didn't even sink in.
Oh, is this why they went to the party?
All I understood was she's on life support now,
I
but
don't know.
but they aren't expecting her to make it. Her chances aren't good from the start.
Oh, this is too sad.
They can't just say that.
Oh, this is
They
too
don't
sad.
know her. I'll talk to them. They'll see reason if I just...
Oh.
I did, all right? Already did. I told them to get their asses together. Even made a promise to try.
But you mentioned they still have to monitor her. That means they haven't given up on her, right?
They haven't. I insisted. But with how things are, they said she might never wake up. And if she ever does, she might not be the same anymore.
I'm here for the horror. But you dot my heart, Dame. You dot my goddamn heart.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I was angry when I told them that, and it just came out of my mouth. Maybe they're right. Maybe I should have just let them...
You did the right thing, Rebecca.
You don't know that. What if she doesn't want this? Do you see all of these? Wires and tubes and bandages everywhere. She's barely herself, clinging to dear life as it is. She can't even hear us. Doesn't even know there are people here worried sick for her.
The point is she's still here. Don't beat yourself up over what ifs.
Exactly, Zachary.
This ain't over for her, alright? I've seen people recover from even worse.
Yeah, precisely. This is normal.
Have some faith in her.
I do have faith in her.
You know what? I think this is just a lack of sleep talking. You been here since when? Last night? Go get some rest, Miss Gales.
But Isabella's...
I'll take care of her, don't you worry. We can do shifts if you want. But go home first. We'll talk about that later when you ain't looking like you're about to fall apart.
Oh, bless him.
If you keep going like this, you're the one who'll end up here next.
The rebuttal I'm expecting from her for even suggesting an idea doesn't come. To my surprise, she merely chuckles.
This feels like a conversation I had with Isabella a few days ago. I said the exact same thing to her.
Then maybe it's a sign you should rest. Let me take over from now.
Maybe. I'll keep that in mind. Are you sure you'll be fine alone? I'll come back this evening, so if you need anything picked up, I can get it for you.
Nah, no problem on that front. Besides, if I do need something, my apartment's just a few blocks away. Skip and a hop, that's all I need. Focus on getting some sleep. Let me take care of this for a few hours.
Yes.
Do it for everyone's sake,
Will do. Thanks, Zachary. If something changes with her, promise me you'll call.
You'll be the first one to know, ma'am.
Oh.
Well, if it comes to that. I hope the news I bring will be better than the one we got this morning. Crazy thing having to wake up to this.
I hope so too. I'll see you later.
You better manage the weak smell before turning and heading out of the room. When the door gets shut behind her, he does so with the usual finality. Yet saying this won't be the last, that I'll stay here won't be as brief as all we're hoping. Besides me, the beeping from the machine remains uneasy. Unceasing, that's what I meant to say. The instant fearing scent pervading the room persists as it wraps itself into the room only to occupants. Although a different memory burns itself in my mind, there is something personal in the melody slowly threaded inside into my consciousness. I hum a peasant in every note, yinders in the air, it tarries with every shift. It reminds me of our room, a little place my sister and I once called home, and a promise made several springs ago. But when our walls are bare and everything's still foreign and new, the soft rustling waits me yawn before I can fully remember. Oh wow. Someone is speaking in the room. In hushed whispers, muttering words that are soothing, not meant for my ears to hear.
This is stupid.
Oh, Ash? It takes you a little while for the recognition to sink in and remind myself where I am. Ah, there it is. But sure enough, when I shift my dazed up, Ashton's there, leaning casually against the edge of the bed, arms folded across his chest, while sporting a pensive expression on his face. I would say it's a choice to wistful, but this is Ash. And with the room's light dimmed down, one really can't tell.
Hey, Ash.
If my sudden move surprised him, it only shows him the sight of lifting of his eyebrows before he nourished me with a small nod.
How long have you been here?
Just came in a few seconds ago.
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear you.
Figures. It's not a problem. You probably need to rest anyway.
You're the one talking. You look like shit.
So I've been told.
Seriously, how long have you been up?
18, 20 hours
Oh my
or so.
God, man.
It doesn't matter. I'll get some shut-eye later.
That reminds me of a friend of mine.
Where's Rebecca?
I sent her home early, but she'll be back too.
Oh, here she is. Both of us turned just in time to see Rebecca ease the door open and step inside. She brought a traveling bag with her, and from the way she transferred... Whatever! Words, they lost me. It's a yo to her other hand. It's heavy enough with things for maybe 2 or so days worth of sleeping out. Okay. I don't know what to say to that, quite frankly, or if I'm supposed to question her about it. Ashton no doubt has a remark or two about it, but before any of us to comment, she raises the hand to stop us.
It's not mine.
Oh. 3 words, and they all are telling enough. Oh. Just so that in order to silence the cease in the room. All of a sudden, just mention of her was because of some sort of taboo between us. Funny when she's just going a few inches away from us. God knows if she's even aware of us. Even in the twilight, I didn't hear her yapping. Making a big deal out of this, she'll say. It isn't anyone's fault, but it's obvious that one way or another, each of us holds our own self responsible for what happened, however irrational that sounds. Plenty of what ifs, should have and could have, darting around. It's almost stiffering.
Always prepared, ain't you?
I just packed what she'll be needing for a few days. I figured it'll be easier for me to bring her things since I live next door. Go take a break now, Zachary. I'll stay with her until tomorrow when her aunt gets here.
Oh, okay, that... 7 family members now. It is, okay.
She's flying over from the other side of the country. She had to file a leave to get here as soon as possible. Oh, what a mess all of this is.
Don't you have class tomorrow? You sure about that?
I can always call for a leave, too. I've got plenty, since I rarely ever use those.
Ah, okay.
Someone has to stay here after...
No, I'll take it from here.
Oh. Oh. Oh no. It's not that his offer is anyway unexpected, it's not even the way he delivers it. That may seem distant to other people, rude to some, downright embarrassing to a few, but to those he keeps close, I'm positive he never hesitates to show some willingness to help. He does, he really does, simply in his own, unorthodox way. I'm sure Rebecca is aware of this, too, more than anyone. Oh god, those eyes are about to murder him. But the tight expression on her face, her strained grip on the bat, and the stiff line on her shoulders suggest a different kind of understanding. Even the sharp, biting tone of her voice takes, despite the meaning in her words.
You don't have to do that. Zachary and I can handle this for a few days.
Both of you already had your turn with this. It wouldn't hurt to have another person helping out.
This isn't some sort of a competition, Ash. We're doing this because someone has to be here for her.
This is a heavy episode.
I'm not making this one. I just volunteered, didn't I?
Don't you have an investigation to finish?
And Zach has freelance gigs in line for the next few days. You have students to teach. Don't push it, Becca. All three of us have things to take care of on our own, but between us, it should be easier to find some time to...
Fine. Good.
Her voice is almost too quiet. You're the charm on the eve of a brewing storm.
Do what you want.
Oh. She doesn't give him a chance there to never word in. In 3 steps, she closes the distance between them and hands him the bad. Feel more force than necessary, in my opinion. Then with nothing more than the sharp yeah at him, she marches out the door. Oh day. Maybe it's just me, but in that brief instant, our eyes meet. Hiding behind the flash of anger is hurt. Oh. Something happened when I wasn't even? Something doesn't seem up the way from the way Ash is acting.
You go ahead, Zach. I'll take over for now.
You sure this is fine?
Yeah, sure. It's not like this is a hard task. I'll probably get more sleep here than if I stay at the precinct or in my car. I'll call when something changes with Isabella, if that's what you're concerned about.
You ain't worried?
About what?
I would say we're better, but he doesn't seem to have noticed earlier's exchange. Regardless, not that kind of person finds joy in prying. It's just certainly none of my business. Fair. That's fair. On top of that, we have Isabella here, bedridden. Rebecca's right. It's one problem after another, and to be truthful, I kinda want to ask for a little breathing room already. But ain't how it always does, ain't it?
This, everything, the accident. I don't know. You tell me. You were there, weren't you?
Just gives him a pause, his hands stopping short of placing the bat on the table. Just by the feet to do on his face, he doesn't know how to respond to that. Yet.
About this, I'll figure it out. Don't worry. I'll find out myself who did this and make sure that bastard gets his just desserts.
So you do have an idea who?
Vaguely, but nothing conclusive yet.
Okay.
I'd rather not say anything until we've got everything sorted out.
Fair.
It's a huge mess. This and that other case. It might even be related for all we know. Thinking about it gives me a headache.
Oh, yes. You think your friend got probably killed by a serial killer? Oh. He lifts his hand and pinches the bridge of his nose. His eyes are squeezed tight and what's perhaps a struggle to not overthink. I don't know how I remember the Overkill. The Overkill? Serial killer story I don't know about this. It's been a while. My brain is weirdly wired for some memories, but not others. What T1 frustration he feels at a considerable distance, preferably far enough so he can think to you. When he's like this, it's better to leave him alone with his thoughts. But as I'm about to pull open the door, ready to take my leave, he calls out...
Do me a favor, Zach.
Oh.
Make sure you keep away from the rights this time. Tell Rebecca the same thing.
The name rings a bell, though at present I can't recall where I've heard it recently. Needless to say, I nod. I only give him some peace of mind. This guy already has enough on his plate.
I'll remember that. See you later.
Oh.
If you catch up to Becca, make sure she gets home safe.
Will do. Go get some sleep yourself.
I've thrown one last skirt, even though at this point I'm not sure what I'm searching for in his face. Reassuring, some sort of encouragement or proof of that everything will be alright? I won't dare ask anymore. Not when he's doing this, shooting for your own. As if he's failed the other people. One person in particular. One yes wave tears the door behind me, even wishes of hope and a whole slew of unspoken remorse and concerns in my room. My apartment is more than a welcome sight after everything. Although it's small bads and routine repairs, at the end of the day, the choices I have to respect. Sure, my sister would have a thing or two to say about the mess every time she visits, but it's still home to me. A mild draft sweeps in the room as I close the door behind me, slightly disturbing the papers on my nearby fridge. Most of them scheduled, yes, and tasks for the next few days. Some of them keep me busy while I sort things out myself. And then now, with what happened to Isabella, something to temporarily take my mind off things. A young note flutters by my feet. Oh no. The Yetis on the surface beaming at me with mute intensity. Ermedard Mansion. Right, 11 AM for Yatsu Yiving. Oh, he was different a note? Hannah, okay. After Aston's warn, they all hold a different meaning now. Eh? Next 2 days, Ross by beer together, even at yet a mess of words, suddenly bringing up new, unexpected acquaintances or friends. Despite how you usually it, really. Either way, I'm starting to film these photos at 3 in the morning to reach the deadline set by an over-eager art director. Don't get me wrong, Julius is good, has a vision, knows what he wants, but damn, he can be too enthusiastic sometimes.
Doesn't matter when you couldn't sleep anyway.
There's nothing new in it, of course. Ideas of working as a freelance photographer is simply something I have grown used to. Get to know people, build a client base, do your work, and test in some 8 hours if needed to be. Rinse and repeat. Certainly takes a while to get some footing on the field, but it's a kind of thing that pays off in the long run, as long as you keep at it. Give enough time, you might end up with big names on your client, yes. Names are the rights in particular. I never did pay mention to them, but it's virtually impossible to not hear about them when a Yoto news channel or paper has something to say on the name. Party here, an acquisition here, there. Sometimes it's a new business venture, other times it's the everyday gossip that typically follows popular people like them. Not in a million years did I ever imagine I would end up working for such a high-profile couple. And in between that and the fuss that comes with, leaves me no time to ponder over whatever happened to Isabella or why Ass so adamant me to keep away from the pair.
They do seem like the good folk, though, despite the whole fame thing.
Sure, there was a rumor running around years ago about him being involved in some business scandal, but that's just every gossip blown out of proportion by the media. Nothing came of it, and eventually simply died down. Much is differently yet to be said for a husband, but I doubt a woman like Miss Wright would pity him if he doesn't have any good points at all. Miss Wright, Hannah, herself, though. She ain't particularly bad the way she press mates her out to be. Bit too forward for a married woman, maybe, but not as bad as what's on the tabloids. Oh, so this accounts for what I chose. Okay, cool. Not that I ever read those, Aston would give me a fiat of just staring at one. Rubbish, he told them once. I think it's just pissed because they often put the total piece in the bad light. Although if Yof is the puppy that's right, it's no wonder that it's the woman who often nets the trappy end of the stick. Then I would feel sorry for her. She's a real nice person when given the chance. Heck, she might have ended up friends with Rebecca and Isabella too if they weren't even worlds apart. Probably. The beep tricky pulls me bad for my thoughts to travel any further. In one practice motion, I carefully place the wet print I'm holding on the drying rack and amble my makeshift darkroom to get the ass photos from the water bath. Oh, he saw the fish carpet, that's cute. Inside the photo room trust at the film processor. Oh, I can't say words, my dearest apologies. Gets another soft cat before going on in standby mode. As mouth, yon photograph sits on the tray, bay visible with the yacht of yites. It's the ass wanted error for the set of Miss Wright's dress. I don't usually make a habit of giving away stuff, that is. It's bad for business no matter how well-intentional or generous you are. This reception, however, she was nice enough to ask, after all, and was a companion up until the awkward turn our usual chit-chat has taken. Oh! Nowadays retapping, I believe. Even if she didn't ask, I would have probably given her a few prints just for the hell of it. Miss Wright ain't such a bad subject matter to begin with. Maybe it's just me, but for someone who's having at the palm of her hands all the money in the world, giving her husband a penny beard mansion to her home, she's yoni. She doesn't disappear yet it. It shows on the tone of her voice, how she moves, and most certainly in her smiles. Always in behind the jam for the world to never see. Sometimes for people like her, small things like this helps a little reminder of what the world can be tied to. Ordered some papers I behind he pitted up and gently laid on another tray a decent amount of photo fluid. A few seconds on the solution is all I need because I'm ready for trying. Oh, he might actually see something in the photos. No, did Rustin this last one, even if my body's already streamed for some decent snooze. My hand trembles for the ice that's moving. Oh, yes, hold on. Towards it with familiarity while I fish for a squeegee among the mess of tools in the drawer for with the other. Bowl flutters twice before its geo settles and casts a soft light in the tiny space. When the Jan spat down, squeegee in hand, I'm ready to finish the process and finally toward a night.
What on earth?
Her head is gone. Beard and distorted beyond recognition. Rather, the area completely smudged, leaving no trace of the same sweet smell the dead woman carried in all of her previous prints.
Damn, that was too careless.
A tough mistake to make, of course, if one is negligent enough to pick a newly processed photo in the dark, that I already did. It has happened before. Years of times, actually. But I still don't help but feel a small pride of frustration over one's mistake a newbie would actually made. With a sigh, I reached up and switched it in, intending to develop a new one from scratch.
It could pass off for one of those supernatural pictures they show on TV, though.
Oh? Always staying positive. A memory chips one tertiary thought in the sea of many in a short yet distant setting from the day before. I dreamt is all I got, but it was enough to burn the image in my mind. There was a shadow. No. A woman. In her 20s, early 30s maybe. With how far done with Fiastion has become, it's not possible to tell at first glance. Sin itself has already taken a sickly pale terror, rotten in most parts, blood dripping from every open dash and lesion on her body. Bony hands drip, Mrs. right neck yet a noose, staining the skin underneath with a vibrant shade of starlight. Nothing but marriage fills the dim in her eyes.
Zachary?
Not for me. But for Miss Wright?
Zach, is something the matter?
Oh no, there's nothing wrong. I just remembered something that's all. Let's get back to the pictures. Can you move a bit more to the left, yeah?
Memory alone is enough to make me wrench. I brushed it off then. A trick of the eye, I told myself, or a product of the high heat. The weather's been it's unexpectedly warm recently, so it shouldn't be too surprising for such things to happen. And while blaming this on the use of fatigue and overworked brain, the weather or an amateur area on my part is far more convenient. There's a whole lot of sense with what that small voice inside my head whispers. Same tiny voice that only it makes itself known when it's on a foul, the same one that yet to true his ear to his bare worries about the mansion. And with every second I spend staring at the photo and moments in my head only drew louder to my ears. Oh dear. Show the photo to Hannah, show the photo to Ash. Oh! I think she'll freak out, you will get annoyed, and I don't want you to get anywhere near Ash. That's sad. I'll show it to Ash. But I'm going to end it there. And I'll release the next one of what his interpretation of it is will be very soon. Probably right next to each other. But yeah. This is a little heavy episode. A bit it wasn't not spooky as though normally it was, but we're getting through the story and the motions. But things are spicing up quite twitchy, and the horror is only getting more stronger. Isabella, no, Anna's near-death experience, it's troubling. And I want to save and I want to enjoy as much of my time with that as possible. So in further ado, I hope you had a good one. And I will see you very shortly to see what happens with that picture and what that does plans to do next to this yuffie cast of people. Apart from that, farewell.